A 7-footer on the perimeter who can play off of you, who can use his length to test your shot late. That was the most incredible kind of series of the playoffs that I've seen AD have to close it out.
The first one is so impressive. Can we show that again, the first shot by Curry that he misses in that sequence? Because he throws the whole bag at Anthony Davis. Yeah. And it looks like at the end of it, he gives him that last crossover. Anthony Davis's ability to not only move his feet back from being tangled, which he did, he then goes full extension to get a hand on it. This is what I'm talking about right here. Right at the end of this, watch the crossover he hits Anthony Davis with. Coming up right there. And Anthony Davis's body is facing the opposite sideline. And for a 7-footer to be able to turn his hips, take a step, and contest, like an honest contest, was just enough to make him miss that shot. The second one, his job was a little bit easier because Curry was just in front of him and never tried to make a move, and he just went up.
Against AD legs, how did we feel about these possessions?
This is not a terrible shot for Steph Curry. He goes halfway down. Give Anthony Davis a lot of credit. He had to change directions multiple times. This second one, I think, is where Steph settled a little too quickly and bailed AD out because he didn't have to move laterally. He only had to extend vertically. Good contest.
And now, Jay Will, we've been talking all morning about this switch that LeBron calls for. Up 3, the Lakers are. Golden State needing a 3, and that defensive switch.
Yeah, it was a switch, but also, I mean, Draymond Green, I know the play was to look for a flare screen to the corner, but simple basketball IQ, you can't leave your feet for a pass like that at that juncture of the game.
And that would lead to this jump ball and one more blunder by the Warriors. Steph throwing it to no one in particular. They had a timeout remaining, and that is all she wrote. The Lakers win by 3. They're up 3-1. And LeBron, after the game, was talking about AD's defense.
Now he's the best defensive player in the league. I mean, you know, I think the league knows it as well. Not many guys that can protect the rim at all costs and also switch out on point guards, switch out on guys like Steph. Steph is a hell of a player, had a hell of a game. I think he even had a triple-double. But we trust AD guarding anybody in this league, and he showed that.
So Steph did have a triple-double in this game last night, but in the end, it was the Lakers who made the winning plays on the defensive end of the floor, and the Warriors some mistakes. How did you see it, Jay Will?
I mean, first off, shout out to Lonnie.
Down to Oklahoma City, and they needed an all-time great performance from Klay Thompson on the road in Game 6 at OKC against KD and Russell Westbrook to win it. So Golden State has been here before and survived.
Well, as I say, when they go to high-volume pick and rolls with Steph, what happens to Klay and Jordan Poole, who had a donut, by the way, last night, okay?
Yeah.
They become stationary targets, right? So they're easier to stay glued to. So they have to find some way to still do high pick and roll with Steph, but to get more continuity of their offense, because when you're allowed just to stay at home on Klay, it doesn't have the same effect on the game.
I have 2 theories. My first theory is that Jordan Poole, the criticism that he heard after the shot he took in Game 1, however much it was warranted or not, he took a sort of a YOLO shot at the end of Game 1 that may very well, this is the shot that we talked all about that day, and it may very well wind up being the moment that the series turns. That since that moment, he has not looked the same. He's basically been non-existent since. And you guys both played it at the highest level. You understand it better than I do. Is it possible something like that gets into his head?
For me, yes, I do think that could be a factor. I thought it was a great point that you made because you think about it. No matter what is said to protect you, and a lot was said on the part of Draymond and a part of Steve Kerr, they all, right? Doesn't matter. You still hear the chatter. You're a young player. You're on social media.
6 weeks removed from the Lakers being the 12th seed in the Western Conference to where the Lakers are 1 win away from knocking out the defending champs and are currently listed by the odds makers in Las Vegas as the favorites to win the West. Do you think they do it, Jay Will?
I think they have a legit shot. I mean, we were on March 30th on this show, and I was like, look, after they played against my Bulls, it was, and people writing articles, well, it's just against the Bulls, and the Bulls weren't that good. The Bulls are playing really good basketball at that time. And I remember watching them play at the United Center, and I said to myself, this is a team that could win a world championship. Now, a lot has to do with matchups and how this team continues to play. But when you're getting this kind of bully ball, I mean, look, they won 6 games shooting below 35% from the three-point line. They're winning games with their defense, and that is their hallmark card. That is what makes this team different.
All right, go ahead.
I was just going to say the biggest difference is also, like, they don't have to be a 38 to 40% three-point shooting team. Not when you've got LeBron and AD, but they've made enough. I mean, they're shooting the same percentage in the postseason as the Warriors, like in the series, 34%. And who would have thought that coming in? They're going to match the Warriors in percentage from the three-point line. So it's just enough. It's timely threes And then this defense has really been the story for this team, and the way that they remade their roster to be able to help them out in that regard. Look, they're legit. They're legit. I know around here we want to end series when the team gets to 3 wins. Right. We want to know who's going to win the next round. It's impossible to know. That's easier to see once they play one of those teams, but there's no question they've got what it takes to get to the finals and win a championship. They're in that mix without question.
A reminder that this group of
in that moment, he feels all of that. He's self-conscious. Now maybe he presses a little bit, and now it's snowballed for 3 straight games. He hasn't made a 3-point shot in 3 consecutive games since that moment.
Greene, it doesn't matter if Draymond Green or Steve Kerr protects you. Like, the feeling in the locker room tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
I mean, and by the way, it followed him last night, even to his post-game interview afterwards with the media. You can just tell there's tension around him overall.
And then I have one more theory for you this morning, and that is this, that I believe the Warriors are going to win Game 5. They're going to come home. They have the heart of a champion. They're going to have the home crowd behind them. The Lakers, I mean, LeBron and AD both played 43 minutes last night. If I'm the Lakers, I leave LeBron and AD in L.A. I say, you know what? We don't win Game 5 no matter what. My shot of winning this series is to come home, keep these guys fresh.
But why do you have to leave them in
ice
L.A.?
bags. Well, why even bother putting the miles on them on the plane? Let them drive up and down the PCH. It's a beautiful drive up and down Pacific Coast Highway. Yeah.
They're going to lose this series.
San Antonio did exactly this
Can I just tell you,
ago.
Steph is one of the most petty, competitive guys there is.
Yeah.
The last thing they need is a spark. You're going to disrespect me?
How am I disrespecting you? I'm showing you the ultimate respect.
Here's the biggest reason why you would never consider it.
Go ahead.
Here's the thing. I don't think that Warriors even need bulletin board material.
Yeah.
Like, be that disrespectful. Like, that's going to matter. Here's why.
Yeah.
You leave those 2 guys at home. Guess who all of a sudden maybe goes off? Klay Thompson, Jordan Poole.
They warm up.
And these guys are back in the series as shooters because you don't have that defense. Now you got a problem on your hands.
Amend it.
You stay at home.
No,
I got the show today. I got the show today. How did that work out? That didn't work out well.
The charges in the middle of the trial. You said I was tampering with the jury. Now you're going to change the charges?
Okay, I'm amending the theory. You send them there, but midway through the first quarter, you wave the white flag. We have no chance to win this. LeBron and AD, I will bet you any close. The game not going to be close.
But you can't automatically know that the Warriors going to.
Oh, I know everything.
No.
You don't know what I know.
This could be a game. You're saying premeditate no matter what the score is. You're going to sit Anthony
Just
Davis.
Be careful with that, because I'm saying we know that Golden State Warriors, they're a momentum team, man.
That's what I'm saying.
If you allow them to start catching traction, they've done it before.
So what you're saying is that of all the ridiculously bad ideas I've had in my career,
this
might be the worst. You know what?
Agreed.
I'm working on that operating theory. But you know what? I still feel good about it because, as I've told you many times, mine is that rare genius that will not be fully appreciated until long after my time. J. Will, KJM on ESPN. You're not going anywhere. I'll gladly dap you up, but you're staying with me all morning long. Jay's going back on the radio. Coming up, we're talking about the Knicks and the Heat. The Butler did it again. Are the Knicks done? Could the Heat actually?
That was a spark that they needed to win that game. But just to add to what LeBron said, Legs, what centers in the NBA can stagger their feet like that to